Good morning YouTube, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I thought I would take you on a little garden tour. It's going to be a beautiful day. The greenhouse is behind me here. I'm going to take you on a tour of outside here, show you what's starting to come up and what's growing. All the tropical plants are coming back outside now. They're out of the garage, they're out of their dormant state. They've all survived the winter. The Bergmansias, the big red banana that was growing on the other side of this palm tree. Oh, a little bit of wind just came up there. But I thought, since it's a beautiful sunny morning, and I thought I'm going to grab the camera, come out, show you the Japanese garden. It is looking great right now. All the ferns are starting to come up, the hostas. There's hyacinths in the ground that are just looking beautiful. Some of the plants are out front, so I'll take you out there. The taros and everything like that are just starting to break their dormancy and get the first leaves outside here. Today is about the 18th of April. Chance of frost is pretty much past now. We've had warm nights. It's been 7 to 10 degrees at night, with daytimes around 12 to actually getting up to close to 20 when the sun is shining. But yeah, why don't I come up? I will grab the camera, just give you a little tour of what's out here, and then we will go up front and I'll show you what's growing out there as well. Okay, so as I say, the sun is just starting to come up over the neighbor's house there. It's about 8:30 in the morning, and this is just sort of a pan shot of our yard. We have our upper tier up there. The bamboo is not doing much of anything yet. That palm tree up there, it's got some flowering buds on it. I'm really hoping that it's going to be a female, because the one I was standing beside in the earlier shot right here is a male. This one's flowered consistently for the last 3 or 4 years, but this other one up there has not flowered at all yet. So I'm really hoping that it's going to bloom for me and yeah, be a female. So let's move the camera. And this is a sort of woodland Japanese garden. I've turned off the pond right now. There's the top of the stream and one of the filters. You never really get to see up on this area, but that's where the stream starts that ends up down below in the pond. Stream is 17 feet long. Hostas are coming out of the ground at a good rate. That's a hosta there. It is a big one. It takes up this entire sort of area here. What else do we have? That is a tongue fern, I believe, and a deer fern down there. You can see this time of year my pagoda that is in the garden. It is nicely covered in moss. Looks really nice. It actually comes from Indonesia. Not that I bought it there, but there's a local store that sells Indonesian garden things like that. I have been to Indonesia though. It's a wonderful, beautiful country. I love it, and I would definitely go back. Let's go down to the other side of this garden and give you a different view from beside the pond. Okay, before we move in too close, here's a couple of the giant elephant ear taros. They're starting to come back. You can see new growth right there coming out, new growth over here coming out. And yeah, let's move you up a little bit closer again. This is a wonderful shot here from beside the pond. So the pond is there. The waterfall is just off, but it's right there. And yeah, the hyacinths are amazing. These are hyacinths that are in the ground, and they've done really well. They've been in there for a few years anyways, come back every year. This year I noticed there's side growths on all of them, so that's nice. The pot that's behind the light is another black pot of hyacinths. Hyacinths in pots outside just don't seem to do as well here. So we have lots of mosses and ferns in this Japanese garden. A few rhododendrons up top. The holiday bamboo, it's called, doesn't look like it did very good this year. We did have a cold year for just like everybody else. Okay, move you to the other side of the pond. There are some Hellebores, they're out in full bloom. They've been out for months now. They've actually gotten their summer foliage on them. There's a few little maples. That is a Japanese moon maple there. A little bonsai in a pot. Move you over again. Let's see. There is another white hellebore down there. I'm happy to see that those guys there's two of them. Those are Himalayan blue poppies that made it through the winter. So that's kind of nice. Those are some orchids in the red pot there. Gujiria, I think they're called. They're just a hardy jewel orchid. And yeah, so that's the little spot right beside the pond. Now why don't we take you to beside the greenhouse. No, actually, you know what we're going to do first? We're going to go undercover and I'll show you the Cymbidiums. Alright, hopefully you can see them here. We are under the covered area now beside the house. And there are a few Cymbidiums out here that are in full bloom. They're looking very nice. I moved them outside just because it's a little bit cooler than the house and there's a little bit more humidity. They do quite well under here. The flowers themselves wouldn't want to hit frost, but they've been out here for a few weeks anyways, and they're doing well. So I'm just going to leave them out here. We bought this guy this year. It is clematis. I think we're going to vine that around the awning that we're under. So I don't know if it'll have to be in a pot, but anyways, yeah, so it's going to kind of climb around this structure that we're under right now. I'm going to lift you up a little bit. Here is the tropical hibiscus is back out. It was in the ground. I did a video of digging it up. It survived just fine in the house. Kept most of its leaves. It's got lots of buds on it and blooms. I noticed that the sunlight is cooking a little bit of the leaves there. These leaves formed in the house. It's not going to focus, but those leaves formed in the house and they don't have what it takes to be outside in natural sunlight, I guess. And I'll pan you down here. Here are a few more Cymbidiums that are out in bloom. This one, although it's looking kind of red and brown, this is the one that we did a video on that had the 8 spikes on it. We spiked this one together. We watched the spikes grow together. And yeah, after they age a little bit, they get some pink in them. And then they pretty much die. So that one's out here for the summertime now. A few other smaller ones that may not be in spike. This guy's in spike here still. He's outside. He has a new growth on him coming right here. And we'll walk you this way. The cobra lilies, of course, are outside. Spin you around. We've made full circle. We're back at the pond now. Here are the 2 planters that I did up. I did a video for these guys last week when I made them. They're doing well. The plants are just starting to break dormancy. Okay, now we're in the garden that's right in front of the greenhouse. Here is a Voodoo Lily coming up. I noticed this year has 2 small ones coming up beside it as well. So it's doing quite well. It's gosh, it's probably 18 inches high already. It just shot up. Last year it got just bigger than that, and then it just keeled over sideways and never did much of anything. I was surprised it came back this year, but it looks it's got a nice thick stalk on it this year. This plant is really cool. I might have to take you off the tripod for this one. I don't know the name of it. If any of you guys know the name of it, let me know. We're going to go down. So it has quite green foliage, kind of arrowhead-like. But when you go into the foliage, let's see, there's one right there. It has these funny little flowers this time of year. So this is an early spring plant. These are tiny little flowers. They don't last very long. I'm going to try to get a better view. Actually, I may just pluck one here for you. Then you can see it, because I really want somebody to ID this. So that's what it looks like. It's just barely open, but it actually gets an opening here. Almost like it's a carnivorous plant, but it's definitely not a carnivorous plant, but it gets a hole right there where bugs can get into it. It looks like it could be almost in the family with the Voodoo Lily, but I don't know for sure. I can't ID this little thing. So if you guys know, I think a nickname for it might be like mouse plant, but if you guys know what it is, let me know. It comes up early spring and is completely gone by summertime. It just dies right back again. Okay, put you back in the tripod and moving on. This, sadly, is my Tasmanian tree fern, which I don't think made the winter. I covered it up, but I think I covered it up too late. I have another one in a pot that I quickly brought in the house on the cold night that we had. We had one night that was -8 with a -14 wind chill. So a lot of the plants out here, they just got nuked. They're not used to -8 temperatures at all. That was Tasmanian tree fern. My seed-grown maple is in full leaf now. It's still in a pot, silly thing. This is the banana grove. I've uncovered it and just kind of left it like this for now, but you can see all the new growth coming out of the main stalks. So I would think if the main stalks have made it, the ones under the leaves should be just fine as well. Other than that, over here, this is sort of under the oak tree. Those are some, oh, I forget the name of them. I'll come back to them if I remember the name. They have little white flowers. Maiden's hair fern, a bleeding heart there. That's gonna bug me. That's gonna bug me. Oh well, I can't remember it now. Little white flowers come up in the spring. Smell quite nice. What else do we have back here? If we look under the palm tree, these are flower buds, so that's going to be coming up soon. They bloom in the early summer, so that's kind of exciting. I think that's pretty much it for the backyard. I am going to take you out front. And here are the 3 big Bergmansias and the red banana tree. So they were all in the garage, and they actually leafed out, and then as soon as they were brought outside, the leaves just kind of cooked and died. But they had lots of leaves on them when I brought them out here, but just like delicate fine ones because they'd never actually seen real light or seen the sun. So let me bring in a little closer. They're not much to look at yet, but they're going to do better out here than they would in the garage at this time of year. So there is the big red banana, and you can see the trunk there. I actually trimmed back some of these sort of husks and just to make it lighter for me, but that's how big around it was. And then we cut it off there and pulled it in the garage, and that's how much it's grown since it's been in the garage and back outside. It's working on its 3rd leaf. Anyways, guys, that is it for my garden update. Things are starting to come back to life though, so that's good. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see these guys and more in full bloom, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching. Okay, now I'm going to go get me a coffee because it is really early. Bye, guys.